Hello, Libras. Welcome to your monthly zodiac reading for the month of October 2024. Happy birthday. It is Libra season. I know you guys are loving that. I am. We are continuing this jam-packed eclipse energy month, specifically kicking off the entire month with an eclipse in your sign. So please make sure that you check your sun, moon, and rising to see if there's a correlating theme between all three energies, or in case this one doesn't work out for you, in case this one doesn't resonate with you, then make sure that maybe one of the others will. As always, we are going to pull an overall energy theme for the month. We will pull tarot for each week. I will then clarify that with more tarot, as well as correlate those messages to the astrological transits that are occurring during those weeks, and then wrap it up with some additional oracle guidance. So let's see what the dragon deck has to say. Water dragon helps you flow easily around obstacles. Christ light and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities and go with the flow. I want to say Cancer got that same card. Let's see what the tarot had. Actually, I'm looking at this one. Here in this first week, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Here in this second week, we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Here in this third week, we have the Five of Cups in reverse. And then here in the last week, we've pulled your own energy with the Two of Swords in reverse. Okay. So reversals all throughout the week doesn't mean it's a bad thing. The Five of Cups in reverse suggests like finally taking steps towards healing. The Two of Swords is finally making that decision. Seven of Cups in reverse is like coming out of that illusion, finding clarity, things like that, which is perfect. Now, this is the week that we have the solar eclipse in Libra happening in your sign. And this is going to be happening on October 2nd. The Ace of Wands in reverse can represent like a false start, or it can just represent really low energy. Like it's a new opportunity and a new beginning. It's there, but it's just really slow. And given the fact that this is a solar eclipses are new moons. And new moons do represent new beginnings. So given the fact that this is a solar eclipse in your sign, you could be just very tired, very low energy, and any new beginning, you could be waiting for like this big astronomical event and start to happen, but it's not playing out that way. It's just going to be something that really develops slowly, most likely over the next 30 days. Here in the second week, this is when we have Jupiter going retrograde within the sign of Gemini. That's happening on the 9th. And then we have Pluto going direct within the sign of Capricorn on the 11th. So anytime we have a planet that goes retrograde, the energy is asking us to go inward. Jupiter is about expansion. It's about luck. It's about spirituality. It is all about that higher learning, that higher self. And in the sign of Gemini, this is about expansion of communication, knowledge, how we give and receive communication. So it could be here that this week, the Seven of Cups is really kind of lifting that fog. And it almost feels like Pluto direct may be having more of an influence over this week than Jupiter retrograde. It does just kind of depend on your chart. However, looking at the cards, I keep getting the feeling that Pluto in Capricorn is having more of a direct correlation here. Pluto going direct is just one, it's a big deal because it's the last time any of us will ever see Pluto in the sign of Capricorn in our lifetime. We don't even know anybody who will ever see Capricorn or Pluto in the sign of Capricorn in their lifetime. Pluto will not be in Capricorn again for like another 200 something years. So it is kind of a big deal. But wherever Capricorn falls in your chart, you've probably experienced a lot of hiccups in this area. You've experienced a lot of changes and transformations in this one particular area over the last 16 years. And that's because of Pluto's ingress and its travel through that particular sign in your chart. Now that it's going direct, it's going to be moving forward. And it's going to, instead of us looking internally for what's hidden and what's underneath, we now get to see something clearly. We kind of see things again for what they are and not as we wish them to be. Here in the third week, this is when we have the Five of Cups in reverse. So again, it could be really hanging on to just kind of like having a pity party for yourself, or you could be finally taking steps towards healing. This is the week that we have Mercury moving into the sign of Scorpio. This is Scorpio energy, by the way. Both of these cards are. Venus is currently in Scorpio, which is what this card here represents. And I'm not entirely sure what Five of Cups is, what planet or luminary it is, but I do know that it's Scorpio energy. But we have the Five of Cups, and with Mercury moving into the sign of Scorpio, this again is allowing you to see things clearly. Our thoughts, our ideas, and our communication are going to take on a very deep and intense kind of tone. Scorpio can also be, because they are ruled by Mars along with Aries, they can be very brutally honest. So just be mindful of your words during this time. Venus on the 17th is moving into the sign of Sagittarius. So the planet of love, beauty, and money is moving into the very luck and seeker-oriented sign of Sagittarius. So this could be that we seek out more adventure in love. We find out maybe at this period of time, we value a lot more travel and things like that. This is also on the 17th when we have the full moon happening within the sign of Aries. Aries is all about the I am. It is kind of like our sense of self. It's about independence and courage and honesty and that sense of autonomy with who we are. And this full moon's going to be happening along the North Node, because the North and South Node are still on the Libra Aries axis. So the solar eclipse is happening along the South Node. The full moon is happening along the North Node. And this is really allowing us to, again, that full moon is going to illuminate where we are still not fully being ourselves, where we are not fully asserting ourselves and what we want and our boundaries and our desires, where we are not asserting those things with bravery and courage within the context of our own life. So along the Libra Aries axis, they may be opposing signs, which means they are very different. However, there is a correlating theme. Aries is your relationship to yourself. Libra is your relationship to others. Okay? So this is about, the correlating theme is relationships. However, Aries is about the relationship to the self. Libra is about your relationships to other people. So here in this week, with the full moon in Aries, the full moon is going to be illuminating maybe where you're still engaging in those people-pleasing tendencies. It's like that, one of those last-ditch efforts along this axis to really reveal to you where you're not really stepping into more of your authenticity. Here in the last week, we have the Two of Swords in reverse. The Two of Swords in reverse can represent that a decision has been made, or that you are really almost ignoring the fact that you even have to make a decision. Again, like I said, this is Libra energy. This is when we step into Scorpio season. So Scorpio is a very deep, it's intense, it's a very passionate sign. It is known as its archetype is the detective. It's a very transformative energy. And all of those qualities are going to take center stage for the next several weeks. And it's perfect. It's just in time for spooky season. When I realized that correlation, I never noticed it before, but I love the fact that essentially the sign of death and all things that are buried and decaying comes into play right around the time of Halloween. So Scorpio season does begin. There's also a note, a very cool thing that I noticed is that on the 31st, we have a Mercury in Scorpio will make a harmonious, an opportunistic aspect to Neptune in Pisces. So Pisces is a very spiritually connected sign, and with Mercury, the mind being in the sign of Scorpio, also a very kind of, Scorpio is just a sign she's not really afraid of, like I said, death and decay, because it's just kind of what they do. But this is happening on the 31st. So the night of Halloween, where the veil is already probably very, very thin, that there's an opportunity for the mind in Scorpio to really channel an opportunity, to really channel something that's tapping into those psychic abilities, so to speak. I was trying to figure out how to word that easily without rambling on, because I feel like I've rambled on enough. Let's see what else you guys need to know for the month. Ace of Wands, the Star. Okay, so really with this, for you guys, the solar eclipse in Libra, it's going to feel like there's a lot of low energy. Yeah, there's a new beginning that's happening for you, but right now, during this eclipse portal, it's almost like you guys are being asked to focus more on your healing and reconnection to yourself and your faith after going through a very transformative change. All right, it could be that this is a change that you guys have been resisting. And in my experience, anytime we resist potent changes that the universe is trying to force upon us, and it forces it upon us because we're not doing the work ourselves, it's almost harder. It's harder when we ignore the signs. It becomes harder when we choose to ignore the things we know we need to do. And so if there's a change, this doesn't really feel like a resistance change, but in case that relates to you more, this time it's going to kind of slow down this beginning and slow down this new start for reconnection to yourself, because you're refusing to acknowledge any changes that the universe is trying to make for you. And again, eclipse season is the time for surrender and acceptance. It's like the universe literally comes in and is like, you know what? It's time for you to rearrange this living room, and I'm going to help you do it. And it just starts rearranging things in your life. So for some of you, this new beginning of spiritual connection, this new beginning of inspiration, of even just having the energy to move through life, or even, like I said, reconnect with yourself, is going to be very difficult because there's a change that you're resisting. Now, for those of you who adhere to the changes that are coming for you, it's just low energy. You guys are probably really, really tired. So just take that time to reconnect to yourself, to kind of allow your mind, your body, your spirit to heal after this big change. Because with this star, you can't really see it on this card, but with both of these water pictures, this one picture here, I think you can see it on the traditional Rider-Waite deck. It's turning into 5 different little streams, and those 5 different streams are supposed to represent the 5 senses. So this is a time when you reconnect to yourself and you allow your body to just kind of recuperate. Okay, so reconnect to yourself, take this time and allow yourself to heal from whatever changes are occurring or have occurred for you over the last, we'll just say the last like year or so, since, because we're coming up on a year anniversary of the very first solar eclipse along this axis. So whatever changes, whatever turbulent times you've been experiencing over the last year, now is the time for you to just ride this wave. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to do anything. You don't have the energy for it. Just ride this wave. Here in the second week, the 7 of Cups, the Devil, seeing clearly any toxic narratives, toxic people, toxic situations, even mindsets that you may be having. And Temperance, wow, you guys are pulling major arcana already. So kind of seeing maybe where it feels like escapism, kind of like where you ignore these unhealthy tendencies. It's almost like I keep like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put this off. I'm just going to put this off. I'm so busy. Whereas Temperance is here allowing you, really seeing where you need more balance and where you're kind of giving into escapism, tendencies. I just heard addictions, codependency. You're really going to see clearly here in this second week with Mercury moving into Scorpio, with Pluto going direct in Capricorn energy. With Pluto going direct in Capricorn, you're really going to see clearly any toxic narratives and habits. This kind of feels more like you versus other people. These are habits, mindsets, beliefs, and stories that you tell yourself that have kind of kept you captive and bound over the last like 16 years with Pluto going direct in Capricorn. And it's revealing these things to you. You're finally seeing these things so that you can come into a state of balance, right? And also moderation, maybe where you go to extremes on one end, you know? And Libra, you guys are all about balance. So if you are prone to extremes, that needs to, you need to take a deeper look at that. But also too, this is reminding you, you're not really living in that Libra essence. You're not really living in accordance to your energetic blueprint. You are all about balance and harmony within your life. And if that's not happening, if you're giving too much of yourself to one side or another, then you're not going to be out of balance. And this second week here, Pluto going direct in Capricorn is really going to reveal that to you. It's almost like you're finally going to see it. Here in this third week, 5 of Cups in reverse. Self-mastery with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse and the 4 of Swords. So finally taking a break and focusing on yourself in the work that you really need to be doing. You're finally healing past all of these old wounds that you now see. You're finally moving past all of those things. The full moon in Aries is showing you where you've been, where you're not doing what is best for you, where you're not focusing on yourself, where you need to just take a pause and take a break and rest. Because if you're healing, if you're trying to move past any pain, any heartache, if you're trying to really, really, really make these changes and focus on yourself, you're going to need to go slow. I just heard like 4 priorities. Like you need to cut it down to like 4 main priorities, and that's what you need to focus on. If it's not one of those priorities, it's just not a priority. It needs to be put on the back burner. I just heard, I'm sorry, but I can't. Tell people, I'm sorry, I just can't right now. And I think also with, like I said, Mercury and Scorpio, I think is also coming into play right here. This doesn't really feel like Venus and Sagittarius. It feels more like Mercury and Scorpio and the full moon in Aries. So the 13th and the 17th, pay attention to those dates, is really, I think, where you're going to see this energy the most. Really, like I said, trying to heal past and focus on yourself is going to require you to just focus on your priorities. Taking things slow, slowing down, and focus, like I said, on your priorities. Here in the last week, the 2 of Swords. Avoiding making a decision because you're not really, like you're tired and you're exhausted. We have a lot, like I said, the Ace of Wands here at the beginning, low energy for this new start. Like you almost don't have the energy to see it all through. The four of this is here telling you about balance and moderation, connecting to yourself, taking a pause, slowing down. And then here, struggling to make a decision because you're too exhausted. You're like, I know I need to make choices. I know I need to like make this decision, but I really just don't have the energy. I don't have the mental or emotional or spiritual energy to do it. The Knight of Wands. Okay, so for some of you, you're, like I said, you're struggling to make a decision. Like you're not struggling, you're just avoiding it altogether. And it's because you're tired. And because you're tired, you're focusing on the things that are just much more fun. Much more fun. You're like, I'm having so much more fun doing this over here. And as a result, it's almost like I said here, the devil, Pluto going direct in Capricorn, is trying to reveal to you where you go to extremes and almost ignore things that you know are hard by escaping into other things. Okay? That's why, like, Libras, there's a tendency for people pleasing, because we do want balance, we do want harmony. And so instead of asserting more of ourselves and being like, no, this is not for me, or no, I don't like that, no, I don't want that, instead of communicating clearly and directly, which is what Aries energy would do, we kind of give in and we kind of shy away from that because We just want to have fun. We just want everybody to be happy. So we don't want to make anyone else feel uncomfortable while we simultaneously make ourselves feel uncomfortable. And so some of you are not going to get that hint, and you're going to continue to just blatantly ignore what you know you need to be doing. For others, those who kind of listen to the message and who do the work, who are maybe even further along in their journey, the Two of Swords, like you're finally coming into clarity and you feel more confident in your ability to make decisions. Okay? And it allows you to be more open to listening. Be more open to listening, and actually allows you to have more fun. It's kind of like you let go of the seriousness that the King of Wands direct can bring. Because when he's direct, he can bring quite a bit of seriousness. You know what I mean? Like you could see his energy. He's that type of leader that he's very calm. He's very quiet. He leads by example, but you're like, I don't want to piss that guy off. Whereas when he's in reverse, it feels like finding that clarity and just being more open to hearing the opinions of others. And as a result, allowing you to really expand your knowledge, because this is Sagittarius energy, really expand that knowledge and expand your, just kind of lighten up and allow yourself to have a little bit more fun. I'm trying to remember, I think I used this one. But I keep going, my eyes keep being drawn to that one for you guys. So let's see. Face your shadow. Facing that shadow. This is a low energy, and around the solar eclipse in Libra, it's allowing you, and this is happening at the 10th degree. So I want to note that this is the 10th month, and this eclipse is happening at the 10th degree. We all know that 10s represent the final chapter. I just heard the song, The Final Countdown, that 80s song. It's the final countdown. Is what I just like immediately popped into my head. But this is a time for you to face your shadow. For you to take a real deep look at what's hidden underneath, what you can really focus on healing versus avoiding. Make the necessary sacrifices. What is going to bring your life into more balance here in the second week? You're going to see that clearly now. You're going to see what sacrifices need to be made in order to be able to bring this into harmony, yourself into harmony, and your life just back into a state of balance. Seek that hidden treasure. Focus on yourself. Because you never know what focusing on yourself and your healing can really bring for you. Really focus on yourself. And it could be that the full moon in Aries is going to reveal that hidden treasure within yourself the week of the full moon. And the last one, let go and enjoy. I just heard, I don't know if any of you are like, have seen the Batman movies. They're the one that, specifically where Heath Ledger played the Joker, and there was that meme that's like, why so serious? You don't have to be so serious. You can make good choices without being so serious all the time. And Libra, like you're meant to be an incredibly fun sign. You're the social butterfly. You're like the social queen and the networking queen of the zodiac. Even King, if you're, identify as a male and you're a Libra, you guys are the ones who are networking. You're the social butterflies. You know, your kindred spirits with Leos, because you guys just love to be that extrovert and to be out there and just have fun. To be that really fun, loving energy that inspires others. Okay? So I truly hope this helped. Allow yourself to just flow this month. Allow yourself to flow. And, you know, like I said, the universe is going to come in and rearrange your furniture, whether you like it or not. It's going to do a little remodeling, a little renovating. Just get out of the way. And just trust that whatever happens, that end product is going to be exactly or even more than what you originally asked for. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys have an incredible, incredible month. Again, happy birthday, Libras, and we will see you in November.